Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? No, that's not working. Okay, we'll use the Mac audio. Hey guys, it's been a while since we've done this. Hope you're doing well. I think you should be able to hear me now. Cool. How's everybody doing today? 23 watching on YouTube. How many do we have on X here? Guys, it's good to hang out. I decided to do this in Central European time, so it's like during the day for once. So there's probably not going to be a lot of people watching live, which is fine. But yeah, I wanted to say hey to everybody. Hey Mackenzie, how you doing? And just check in with you guys about everything that's going on. It's been a ridiculously difficult market. Yeah, let's see what the TitanX actually ratio is because it's probably pretty destroyed now. It's just been Ethereum has been so stagnant and we're so tightly tied to Ethereum. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, Ethereum just won't budge. Let's look. So we are heading back down, but yeah, ultimately, like what Benjamin Cohen has been saying about altcoins bleeding to Bitcoin seems to be playing out. I don't know if you guys have been following this, but maybe I can actually even share my screen and show you that chart. Let's see. Yeah, you can see Bitcoin dominance is just going up a lot. But yeah, Bitcoin dominance is at 64% right now. There was a dip when Ethereum rose, but now it's going down again. So guys, it hasn't been easy, I know. I think that this is just more recognition that like the market has really changed. And ultimately, a lot of people were playing the 2021 playbook. I still think that Dragonx has done a lot for people throughout this. I know it's hard to see that, but if you guys saw that X post that I put out, you can see it's comparing Dragonx to all these different charts that have just gone to zero, you know? And we actually helped a lot of people, believe it or not. I know it's tough to imagine that, but it's really hard to stand by a project when it's going down. It's really hard to keep being present. And I never consider myself to be like a fair weather person. So this is something that I'm really dedicated to and I care about. So, you know, that makes a big difference. If you look at the long term, most charts just go to zero after like one pump, you know? And some of you guys are probably getting FOMO over some charts, specifically around some low caps that are being shilled in the community and outside of the community, that they have their one green candle, or they have their run where all the insiders got in, and then you just get kind of dumped on, right? Like, then they just grind lower and lower and lower after that, and that's going to change as the market gets like more frothy and there's more basically dumb money coming in. But if you look at the periods when the smart money is in and the dumb money is out because they're bored, that is where a coin like Dragonx shines because we have actual utility. You guys should be proud. Like Dragonx, it's 480 something days old. You know, there's $1 million in ETH sitting there. So between, there's only a few people on this call. So let's just be honest. Like the price could go to all-time high easily with that Ethereum, right? So what you're seeing now is like a very long and painful bleeding process that none of us wanted. Certainly not me. I can't speak for others. But I certainly didn't want it either. And it's just something we have to muddle through now and fight. So I'm hoping you guys can kind of hang in there. I recognize that probably some unnecessary or huge risks were taken as the Dragonx price was going up in August. But, I'm still here and I'm still very optimistic for what's coming for Dragonx. So, because you guys are watching now in the middle of the day in Europe, just think about what that ETH could do when it's deployed, right? Like you don't necessarily need to be worried about some down because when the market turns, you're going to see people come back. This recent 500% pump that we saw on the Gecko 1 announcement, that was 100 makers, So that was basically 100 people who came in on a Joe Paris video and they bought Dragonx and the price went up 500%. So you can imagine, like, we're in the depths of the bear market still. Like we have, if you look at the social metrics, if you look at any engagement metrics, we're really not very far off the bear market. So if you consider that, and you consider that, other videos and other coverage will probably happen for Dragonx. And so you have to ask yourself, like, okay, if 100 people are coming in and they're pushing the price up 500% in the bear market, then when 1,000 people come in on a YouTube video, what does that do for the price? I'm not telling you guys to buy. Most of the people on this call are already probably sufficiently allocated to Dragonx. Okay, I've never been one of those founders that is going to tell you to put all in on my token, right? But just keep in mind that you've avoided a lot of bad stuff out there. You've avoided rug pulls. You've avoided meme coins that are low effort. You've avoided low effort altcoins that are being created. The founder owns a bunch of it, and then he goes and he tweets about it. Okay, low effort stuff, just so they can extract, and they'll keep it alive, and they'll show that green chart that they created on very low liquidity, right? And they'll show that over and over and over. They get you in, and they're out. That's not what I wanted to build with this. So that's just part of part of being in a token that's a little bit more utility focused. It's the benefits and the drawbacks. The drawbacks is you don't get necessarily that hype, especially during a bear market when the dumbest money is coming in, but you get the benefit of a little bit more stability and leadership, So you get either, and you have to remember that Ethereum is being stored up because you have to think about it this way, right? You have, if you put that ETH, if I was to launch the DAO now, what's going to happen? People are going to vote for probably the maximum that we would do is like 5K a day or something, right? People are going to, for every dollar that goes into that buy and burn, $2 is going to come out. People that have capitulated, they've given up, but they still have tokens, but they're not interested in the project anymore. They're going to pull money out as that buy and burn goes off, right? But if you wait until the speculation returns, if you wait until there's more utility, if you wait until there's more streamers talking about us, right? If you wait until the other buy and burns are going off, until Taurus is launched, then for every dollar you put in, you're getting $2 put in. And that's where we want to be, but we don't get to choose the timing in the market. What we get to do is we get to look at the market for what it is, and we see effectively when is the best time to attack. We don't get to choose that, but we get to choose we get to be smart, and we get to pay attention to all the data and all the metrics and all the indicators that tell us, okay, now is a good time. The weather is changing and it's back in our favor, and now we can deploy the sails and we can go forward. So that is the situation we're in, And ultimately, like, a lot of you guys, and maybe not you guys, because there's very few people here. There's 100 people watching. You are the dozens of people left, effectively. So a lot of you are wise enough to understand this, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough because there's such a short-term mindset to see that. So one thing that I've been putting together, and I want to mention this now. This stream is sponsored by my mastermind. So I do have a mastermind. There's 60 people inside right now, and this market is so different that I feel that the saying that lone wolves, they go hungry, but packs of people they eat. And this is the market that we're in right now. Ultimately, this is the market that we're in. So the level of sophistication that you need is a lot higher than it was in the past cycle, where if you found guys like us early enough, you would have done extremely well right away with very little effort. That's just the reality of last market, right? Of 2021. This is a lot different. The compounding annual growth rate on Ethereum and Bitcoin is dropping really fast. For those of you that attended the webinar that I did to talk about my mastermind and why I think it's so important, you can see the major altcoins are just returning less and less over time. So that means, what does that mean? That means you have to go deeper into the market. You need to understand the market more. You need to spend more time paying attention to the indicators and metrics. And most importantly, you need to have smart people around you that are going to help you. And this isn't really something that you can do in a group of 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 people because it's too chaotic. And I personally can't give the advice and one-on-one and care I give to each person in this group. These people are really helping Dragonx because they're going to be the people that are going to fund the next build most likely. They're going to be people that are basically networking and finding new opportunities for us. So this group of people inside this mastermind it's a real beneficial. It's not one of these shill groups. Like it's not like pay me some money and I'll send you some low caps and you can dump on your friends. Like that's not the point of the group at all. This group is a long-term wealth accumulation group. Really savvy people inside. There's a lot of people that are smarter than me inside. And we're thinking about multiple years. So we're thinking about how are we going to play this cycle the best? And then how are we going to understand when this cycle is rounding out? And then cycling into other investments that are passive income plays. Could be stablecoin farms. It could be, majors that are depressed because we're in the bear market. So cycling out and going into farming at the right time can really change everything. And then you could have the dry powder for the next cycle. Or even just with, if we have some kind of elongated cycle with basically greater dips and greater, the highs take longer to achieve, people are going to be, they need to be aware of what's happening and what's changing. And so being able to play those cycles and those changes is important. And inside the group, I give a lot of effort to each person. When someone joins, they get a consultation with me, and they also get a video. I personally record a video for each person. I explain them everything about the group, okay, and I open my network to them. So inside this group, I'm helping people get passports. I'm helping a guy get Paraguayan residency. I'm helping a guy get Bolivian passport. We're doing banking abroad, foreign residencies, foreign real estate, foreign businesses, investment. I have an analyst. I've hired an analyst to work with you guys individually. So basically, people can come in and they can talk to the analyst and say, "Hey, I want to analyze this project. I want to understand this more." Okay, and this guy is dedicated to you and to the people in the group. So this is not something that I can give out like in mass, because for each person, I really care. I want to get to know that person and I want to work with them over the course of years, right? I'm going to be launching new stuff for Dragonx, but I'm also going to be doing other stuff like within this group, I want to launch a fund. So you can imagine if we have a couple hundred people, and it would only ever be a couple hundred people. There's 66 people inside right now. What we're going to do is, when we have 200 or 300 people, probably 300 max, if I can make all those people millionaires, then we're looking at 300 million net worth. Then we can do some really interesting stuff, and it's going to benefit everybody, including Dragonx holders, but it's something that needs to be tight knit. It needs to be people I can trust. As you know, this ecosystem is insane with the low level of trust, the short-term minded nature of people, and honestly, the low character of many people in this industry. And it's tough for me as someone that's coming from an enterprise kind of professional environment of software engineering and building things to have to fight battles all the time with individual people and to be that Dr. Evil. I would rather have those people around me who I can really trust and we can do awesome shit together. Like, you know, if you want to level up and really like, I want everyone in the group to become a millionaire. That's my goal. My personal goal is to make everyone in the group a millionaire. I've already made millionaires with Dragonx. I want to do it for the people in this group. I can just tell you a little, before I'll stop showing this in a second. I'll answer some questions about it. But so inside you're going to get a bunch of passive income stuff. I'll work with you one-on-one. There's 67 other people inside that are like 66 right now, who are just really smart. Like we have amazing calls. They're like 3 times a week, and it's like going on a podcast. You get your own private podcast with me and other really smart people who have audiences, YouTube channels, and so you're getting something really in depth. And like I said, I have an analyst. I'm helping people with residencies, passports, banking. I lived in like a dozen different countries at this point, probably maybe 8. I don't know, I could count them, but a lot of countries. I've met a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life, and I've done a lot of residencies myself. So if you want to level up and you want that intimate environment and you want to craft your future with a bunch of people who are long-term focused, then this is the group for you. It's not for everybody. And you can buy Dragonx and you're going to benefit from the people in this group because the people in this group are helping me achieve greater things for Dragonx. So just clear it from your mind that this is like some kind of extraction, because this is something that I've wanted to build for years, actually. And Dragonx is finally facilitating that because I can reach out to people. Who you know is really important, guys. Like I know it's a cliche, but if I wasn't in Jake's mastermind, I never would have launched Dragonx. And you guys never would have gotten that 100x. So just think about that. And I know this is right for some of you guys. It really is. And for some of you, you expect everything to be free in life, and it's not for you. That's fine. In the video description, I posted like a fill out link, because I'm not like a, I'm not like a hard salesman. I just want to find great people. And I want to cap this group like fast. I don't want to be doing this all the time, because I'd rather work with people in the group. So if you want to talk to me about it, I'm going to post this link a couple times. I'll also post this after the live stream. There's a fill out link here. You can go fill it out. And I've been messaging people also on X to talk about this, because I'm basically trying to take the best people and I have to sort through all of the people to do that, And a lot of people don't understand how sales works. Like if you have a fantastic product and you don't talk about it, no one will be interested in it ever. So you have to cut through all of the people who don't care to get to those people, get to those gems, so that you can build something great. Okay. And I hope that if you're watching this call, you join, because I think if you're watching at this point in the bear market, like you're probably one of the guys who's going to make it. And I want you inside, because the stuff we're doing is going to be awesome. It's really going to be awesome. Like, I've already had people meet up across the world. We had a meetup in Seoul. We had a meetup in Tallinn, Estonia. Just imagine, like, for some of you, having a global network of people to network with, to do business with, to get alpha with, to help structure your portfolio, all that stuff. Like, some of you are going to benefit from that, right? And so this is something that I think is good for you, some of you. And so that's why I'm shilling it pretty hard. Like, I don't shill low quality stuff. And I've already seen people do extremely well inside. So that's kind of what it is. If you have questions, I can answer them in the chat, but I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. I'm going to throw up like a landing page in VSL and all that fancy stuff, because I'm going to try to expand it until I cap it out. But I did want to mention it again. Go ahead and book a call. Like, we can talk about, without you joining, we can talk about your situation like on the call. It's cool with me. I enjoy talking to you guys. So that's kind of the group, man. Like I said, website is coming, more information, but it's still kind of an inside thing. I'm just trying to get people interested. Let me just see if I can address some comments about this because I've been talking. I haven't been addressing questions. Am I going to GER new people? I have no idea what you mean, my friend. I'm looking to pull together these people because if you have 300 people, like if I can make 300 millionaires, then the scale at which the things I can do are insane, including for Dragonx. I hope you guys can understand this. Like there's just this certain type of person who just doesn't understand that like the world is run by groups of people who have resources and are driving in a specific direction. That's all a company is a group of people, right? It's a group of people who are all working in a specific direction. Like your entire life is basically other people having things and you giving value to them so that they exchange value with you. That's your entire economic life. And you know, if this resonates with you, book a call, man. It should be good. Let me just go through more of these comments here. You can just run with that. There's actually not that many TitanX whales inside, man. Like, we have some people with decent Dragonx bags, but I mean, I'm actually trying to help people understand that like your entire life savings shouldn't be in a low cap token. Like, I have a lot of plans for Dragonx, but this is bigger than that. It's something that's broader. It's something that's more lifestyle focused in terms of if you want to be somewhere really different from where you are now, and you want to be connected with people at a very high level around the world, then it's right for you. It's not just front-running Dragonx stuff. If the people in the group are funding the next platform for Dragonx, right, and they're putting millions of TVL into it, that's something they're going to know about. That's just facts, right? Like I can do it with you guys, or I can go and do it with a VC, okay? But I would rather do it with you guys. See where I'm going with this? What's up, man? Why would people buy Dragonx and TitanX? What's going to drive demand? No one cares about anything anymore. No one cares about anything anymore. I know the sentiment is quite low, but you know that there are many builds coming for TitanX. I know of at least 3 builds, solid builds, strong builds that are coming. Inside my mastermind, I'm actually coaching a guy who's building a pretty cool platform for TitanX. And again, it's this idea of connections that is so valuable, and it's so valuable to us in TitanX and Dragonx. And I hope you guys can recognize that, because I would never be able to provide this kind of consultation to this person unless I had a framework and a mastermind to do it. And it gives me the resources. It gives me the resources to help. I can help connect this guy with auditors, developers, designers, right? So this guy's getting the treatment that he deserves so he can build a really cool protocol. I mean, this guy's like he's a really successful crypto guy, and he wants to come build on TitanX. Okay. And I found him by DMing people on X. Like, you wouldn't believe the people that I've talked to, some extremely high level people. And so there are multiple builds coming for TitanX and Dragonx. It's tough to see now, but you have to understand that whenever the green candles come, that's when the users come. So right now you're in this horrible phase of consolidation, and it is horrible. I agree. I would much rather be, a billionaire founder because I timed the market in 2021 by now. Believe me. But that doesn't mean that great stuff isn't coming for TitanX. And let's look at the supply, actually. %30 liquid, okay? 30% liquid. There's 1.2 million in the liquidity pool. That's nothing. Like, imagine a scenario where the builds are kicking off and you have like a couple new platforms for TitanX and Dragonx, and you have Taurus, and then maybe there's some buy merges that come in. I don't know what Jake is planning for that. I really don't. But if those buy merges are coordinated properly, and I hope they will be, and you have a bunch of builds that are burning that remaining TitanX, and then Ethereum does its job, which is an important factor, honestly. People are going to come back and they're going to chase green candles. Like, look what that Joe Paris video did for Dragonx, man. He just put us in the S tier, potential 500x. That's what he called it. And 100 people came in and they bought, and we went up 500%. So just pay attention to the social metrics. Pay attention to how things are shifting. I'm gonna take this gum out because my head is starting to spin. It's a nicotine gum. Pay attention to how little it takes to move. And then if you look at I don't know if you guys have TitanX Hub Premium. It's a pretty cool tool. I'll actually post an X about it after. But you can see that when those green candles happen, when that 500% happened, when that 5% gain happened, there were 100 people that came in, just 100 people. And that was 100 makers. So how many buyers were there? 60, 70 buyers? So all of this stuff, it has a lot of pumping potential. If you're worried about it not pumping, it's gonna pump. Like, let's just play out the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, Jake never returns, okay? Taurus still launches, Dragonx is still here, there's another build coming for TitanX, okay? And I'm here with the Dragonx DAO. So worst case scenario, Ethereum turns around and all of these things fire off, okay? That's not that bad a scenario. That's, you have to consider the number of projects that do 100x, go down 90%, and then start to climb again is like vanishingly small. You guys are in very rare. I don't see myself anymore. Hello. Shoot. Okay. Guys, here you can't see you. Can you now see and hear? Can someone give me a thumbs up in the chat so I can just get a confirmation you guys can hear and see me? Somebody? Okay, thanks, Kata. So that's like your worst case. Your worst case is I'm going to do everything in my power to make Dragonx successful. Steve is going to do everything he can to make Taurus successful. Other entrepreneurs are looking at TitanX. They're building on TitanX. And we have a solid reserve. So, guys, like, this is pretty rare in the world of crypto. I have to be honest with you. Like, and the low effort stuff it's fucking retarded. Like, do you guys really want to play this game of gambling? That's not what Dragonx is about. I think you guys know this. And so obviously, like, nothing is guaranteed, but I think you can at least feel good about how much, no one pays attention to the null. They don't pay attention to what didn't happen. All they see is the chart going down and they cry and they're sad, but it's the same thing as counting your blessings in life. Like, if you ever look at a disabled person, and you can walk, it's like, okay, now I can see the contrast. Now I can recognize what I actually have. And it's not until you actually observe all the things that have happened during this bear market that you can kind of recognize you've really gone through a very narrow situation where people around you have been destroyed and wrecked. And this is the same thing that Hex was in 2021. It was a shining city on a hill, and that's what Dragonx is. It's a shining city on a hill. It really is. And to have someone who is fighting for his token after 482 days, still through that, it was a brutal winter. March was brutal. Watching everyone capitulate, watching all of our friends give up and leave, watching some people show their true colors and dump, like, that sucks, man. That sucks. But you know what? We came back from that, and we did 500% with very little marketing. So be proud of that. Be proud of the fact that you didn't get rugged. You didn't enter one of these shitcoins. You didn't play in the meme coin casino. The wins are always highlighted. Whenever people are showing meme coins, they're always highlighting the wins. They never highlight the losses. People always lose on those tokens. So just step back and recognize what you have, because this is pretty good stuff, man. Like, I know it's really hard to see that now. And the negative voices do really bother me actually, because imagine, okay, it's like basically the definition of lack of gratitude, you know? Like if you can't appreciate what you have, you're not going to be happy. And that's a lot of what you see with TitanX. You know, you don't appreciate that 99% of tokens are basically bullshit and that you avoided that. You don't appreciate that you have people who really want to succeed in their building. And if you can't appreciate that, then there's really nothing I can do for you. And I'm probably going to ban you from chat for complaining. And that's not because I'm trying to stifle free speech. It's because if you can't appreciate what you have and all you can do is point out the negatives, then why are you even here? At some point, like, you know, it gets to a degree. It gets to a degree. Look what happened in the winter with all this stuff with ulti and everything, and people were selling and they're poo-pooing Dragonx. Well, who's still standing? You know, like, and honestly, when I see people sell Dragonx, it's like, thank you, and goodbye at this point. Like, it doesn't even phase me, because a token that care with people that care is all that matters. You have to understand that. The price can go down 99%. It doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't. You know, I mean, I know some of you guys are in Pulse Chain, right? Like, there's such little liquidity in the hex pair. Like, Richard has billions of dollars. Just chill. Like, okay, maybe Pulse Chain, like, it doesn't have a lot of good fundamentals, like, technically. But one thing to think about is when you're looking at tokens, does the token you're looking at, and this is stuff that I teach people in the mastermind, which is important. Does the token have an audience? Does the token have a champion? Okay, I know we're doing decentralization here, but we can't all be Dogecoin. We can't all be Monero, right? Like, even Bitcoin has Michael Saylor. Even Bitcoin has, you know, Cynthia Loomis. So the question is your coin going to recover? And you have to ask yourself, is there an audience? When the social metrics return and they get better, who's going to be shilling that thing again? Okay, when the cheap money people come in, the fast money people come in, long after you, if there's nobody talking about it, why would they come to that one? But if we're talking about our stuff and we have resources and we have builders, then the dumb money is going to come back. That's just the reality. So I look at tokens. Is there a face? Is there a person who cares enough to get in front of the camera and talk about what they built? Okay, and there are many examples of that. And so inside the group, you know, I do mention these things. Like, I'm not a Dragonx maxi inside the group because I never wanted to be the kind of founder that told people to put their life savings into my token. And I never wanted to be the kind of person who, you know, just built a group to get his token up higher. Like, that's not the point. And so I have a whole list of these tokens that I think, like, okay, you saw a whole complete collapse in the market. Okay, now which tokens are strong enough and which tokens have leaders, and those are the ones that are going to return. Okay. So that's something to remember. Like, if you're looking out there for tokens, like, look for the ones where people have resources and they care, and they don't have to be billionaires with thrones, you know, like, some of these people are just smart builders. Yeah, like, I'm just looking at some real world asset projects, and there's a guy, he has a really good real world asset group. He's got like 4,000 on Twitter, and he just gives a damn. He really gives a damn. And I was recommending it to people, like, because I met this guy over chat, you know, he's based in New York City, and yeah, he's a smart guy, and like, his token did a 10x. People inside my little group got a 10x off it, and that's awesome. And they can roll that into other stuff in the group, and they can keep building their wealth, right? So pay attention to, like, are people still showing up? You know, let's go through some more comments here. Skipped over a bunch. Users going to come. Yeah, users will. Like, if you have a look at the periods of user acquisition, the period of user acquisition always happens when the chart is going up. This is why people are sitting on huge bags from 2021, because they all came in at the top. Like, people come in, it's like power law, and at the end of the bull market is when the maximum number of people come in. So, you know, I know many of you are holding tokens from 2021 and you're way down. Why is that? Because you got up really high, right? I got into Hex really early because I was paying attention to the founder and talking before that, and now you're paying attention to me talking before that. I'm not saying I'm the next Richard Hart, but that's a good example of it. There were plenty of other tokens like that during that time. That's not the only one, right? So find those people that are talking about tokens. Users will come in, and the metrics absolutely confirm this. By the way, if you go on TitanX Hub, every pump and green candle, Dragonx adds users, and then what's fantastic about Dragonx is we really don't lose many users, actually, after that happens. So it's very easy for us to gain users. Very easy. Yep, Erik is raising money for an expensive mastermind to front run everyone else in TitanX. I'm raising money. No, I'm building a network of people who give a damn that are going to end up pumping your bags, buddy. Yeah, exactly. It's actually hilarious, these haters, bro. Oh my God, they're such idiots. Like, yes, some people don't understand that who you know is vastly important. Like, I'm in a privileged position where I can actually DM people, and really high caliber people, great people will actually respond to me, and I can form a relationship with them that is mutually beneficial and beneficial for my projects. That's amazing. That's really what you want. Like that's really good. Bro, stop shilling your course. TitanX is down 95%. Man, you're so lame, dude. I feel bad for you, actually. I actually feel bad for this guy. Like, imagine having this mentality. I think you guys should study this guy because this is an example of someone with the bad thinking. Connections are insanely important. Basically, success is you providing value to the highest value people you can possibly meet. Like that is how you become successful. That's how Dragonx will become successful. You understand? Like, I don't know how else to say it. I think the people in this chat get it. Like, to make Dragonx successful, I need to accumulate the maximum number of talented and successful people around me as humanly possible. I hope you can understand the logic. And to do that, I need to provide something to them. Does that make sense? It's called the market. It's called the free market. This is how you exchange value. Some people get it. And we have a great farm, yeah. Do you guys want to talk about farms? I'm looking forward to listing Taurus on farms. I think it's going to be good. I'm gonna be cutting away tokens that don't make the cut. Okay, I just want you guys to be aware of that. For some of you who are holding tokens that have zero volume and zero founder participation, so I wouldn't expect those because there's going to be a new wave of TitanX tokens as the market picks up. Right, I've already mentioned that there are like three solid projects being built on TitanX. And when that happens, I'm gonna look at the projects and I'm gonna say, okay, who's engaged, who has users, who has volume, and those are the ones that I'm gonna add, right? So Taurus, and there's a couple of stealth projects that are coming. So it's the job of the Titan farm is to capture as much ecosystem volume as possible so we can elevate the price of Tink and give people a way to farm and bring utility to all TitanX tokens, right? And to do that, I need to list the best tokens. So that is what's happening with the farms, and the farms will be pruned, and I will prune away the tokens that are not performing. As I said before, I favor the big four. I favor the core four: Dragonx, TitanX, Hydra, Hyper. I favor those. It's just because of the history of the projects and how much Jake has done for us on Team Dragon. I want those to be supported, and my involvement in those, right? And I'm involved in Titan Farms. It's like Apple ecosystem, right? Apple favors its software. When you search for notes, you get the Notes app. Similar concept. I know nobody likes winning. Sometimes people are just like, no, it has to be. It's like kind of crypto communism. It's like, no one can make money until I'm making money. We can't have nice things because it needs to be fair. If you guys are watching now, like, you have a big advantage. So you're actually in a position of unfair. You have an unfair advantage right now. Like that's great for you. Why do you have an unfair advantage? Because you stayed and you continued to gather information. So you guys should be rewarded for that. Like that's just the fact. Like that's the fact. That's how I operate anyway. It's called meritocracy. I trust no one. They showed us this coin is just for dumping. Blah 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 blah. What is this? Really? I guess you're not listening to what I'm saying, dude. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding it. Where is the Veno Dinto? Good question, my friend. Yeah, this is a pretty cool setting, actually. I'm in a villa. I'm in a villa in Italy right now. Check out this thing here. This thing. So, how cool is this? Fix that. This is so cool. It's yeah, I just asked them like, do you guys have a room that I could do a live stream in? And it's like a hallway. It's like a big hall, and they do religious like stuff here. And you got like paintings of nuns and you know old wood, and it's really cool. Yeah, it's like a really old villa. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Has a nice smell, wood smell. I'm gonna pin. So I added this thing. I'm gonna do it again right here. This is the link. If you guys want to chat about the mastermind, just fill out a thing. Fill out a chat. How many days old is this project now? Yeah, dude, it's 482 days, you guys. Can you believe that? Crazy, right? Like, can you guys think of another project where the founder is still grinding to make it a success after 482 days? Like, actually, even though I'm enjoying this setting, like, I actually work very hard, guys. Like, you know, so just kind of try to appreciate that. Like, I don't know, where else would you go right now? Like, where are you gonna go, man? You need to go to tokens that have like audiences and growth and the chance to turn around when things turn around, right? So anything you see on Dex Screener is just like it's a one candle project. There's so many one candle projects. What do you? I don't know why people think that any of this stuff is easy for anybody, including me or anyone. Wow. Jake donated huge to save Dragonx, blah, 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 blah. Jake actually burned a huge amount of TitanX for you, man. And then we staked it for him. It's like, it's so funny. I appreciate these comments because it's like, it helps you understand, like, people, I don't know what they want to see. You don't want to see two smart founders collaborating? I don't understand it. Like, you don't want to see a farming protocol because why? Because income? You hate it? You don't want to see Dragonx accrue millions of dollars that would have otherwise left already. Like we could literally pump TitanX to all-time highs right now. You don't want that? Like I don't understand. I don't understand. These comments are retarded. Or the negative comments. I'm sorry. I won't get into it, but look, man, like in what professional environment wouldn't you want high caliber people to work together and coordinate to make things better? That needs to happen. That needs to happen. Okay. Anas, actually, Arnas, you're inside, right? Yeah, it's going to continue, my friend. Because the mastermind itself is about more even than just crypto. It's about building this global network that I've wanted to build for years. And it's about having people like I want to meet everyone inside this group. I've already met several people in person. I want us to have meetings. I want us to have offsites. We were talking about like where would we have our first offsite? I was thinking we could like rent like one of these palaces in Venice, and you can have like a big feast, or we could go to like Tokyo and rent a top of a hotel room, or because when you meet someone in person, it's so much more powerful, so much more powerful. Just saw the chart. It's over. Yeah, dude, I know. I've been telling you guys this is over for so long, man. You guys are crazy, man. What else we got here? I'm back. Please, no more projects, just marketing, promotions, and Jake V1 to remove. I mean, your name is Cryptocycles. So should we think about cycles or not? Because that matters. What else we got? Hello, Cryptostylist. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Is Hydra the best leverage on Dragonx 1-to-1 ratio in play? There's a couple different projects built on Dragonx for leverage plays on Dragonx. I mean, in terms of leverage, the lowest liquidity project is going to pump the most. But the question is, how much can you pull out, right? Hydra has pretty good liquidity. Hydra also has like $1 million of Dragonx in it, which could probably pump it up significantly. But, you know, it has to happen at the right time. And by the way, I don't control that buying group. I did advise for it to be shut off so that it wasn't used at the wrong time. So you can blame me for that. But isn't it nice to have $1 million of Dragonx backing your project? The founder is TitanX. The founder is TitanX is missing. Why are you bullish? I already explained this. We are with you, Erik. Don't listen to them. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's not easy, man. It's definitely not easy. This shit is extremely hard. Imagine being in your position, but you also have 4,000 people who are pushing you to succeed, and you need to execute across multiple different dimensions. So instead of just being a holder, you're also driving the entire thing. Like it's to place the blame on the person who's doing the most. It's not a good thing. Don't do that. Put in the combined effort of this group. And by the way, I'm not saying, oh, shill my bags because I'm too lazy to shill. That's not what's happening. But ask yourself, is it better to have an active founder and a bunch of whiners, or is it better to have an active founder and a bunch of people who give a damn? Right? It's kind of obvious. Like a lot of this stuff is just, a lot of the people who are throwing FUD, they're just short-term minded people. They never actually cared. They were there. Like there's a whole group of people who just wanted 2021 to play out and it didn't. And they became completely disillusioned. And they are probably mostly gone at this point, which is great. Or they took off their green circles and they're shilling low caps because they don't have the character that we would have wanted anyway. So that's another consideration. God. Start every day appreciating what you have instead of crying over what you don't have. Yes. Very true, man. Very true. Appreciate flawless operation. Appreciate extremely well-written code. Appreciate founders. Appreciate each other. Please appreciate each other. Appreciate the chats. Appreciate not being rugged. You know, appreciate being in a position where things can potentially turn around and do better. You know, and it's not easy. It's not easy to appreciate things. What are our plans for Hydra? Talked a lot about this. We have PowerX. We have BNB. Let's see how other things play. Like, you know, the ecosystem has to return to a larger extent, I would say, for Hydra. What went wrong with you and Shadow when you made? Yeah. The USTX pool, it just didn't work out the way we wanted it to, unfortunately. But I think everyone was refunded, so it is what it is. But we could potentially relaunch that. Don't forget, X was actually doing shit against ETH during the majority of the last cycle. Yeah, it's true. Well, that's actually a good point, because if you look at the different timings on the market, on the altcoin markets, it's like 90 days. Like all of those gains that you're getting, those parabolic gains, they come in that last 90 days. When people finally wake up and they finally turn back to crypto and they open their Coinbase wallet. And that happens at the very end, man. Like, basically. And the reason why it's taking so long now, and if you are watching Benjamin Cohen, it's because so many more people are in the market and they're holding on for dear life for their altcoins. So they effectively, it's taking longer to bleed them out to reach a capitulative bottom against Bitcoin. And everyone was kind of offsides, and the institutions scooped up all the Bitcoin. And the same thing actually happened with Ethereum, because Ethereum was down at 1,500 and you had everyone giving up. But I was actually tweeting and I was saying, hey, the Rolexes are back in the shop and BlackRock's buying Ethereum and BlackRock's putting $1 billion on Ethereum in RWA every month. And everyone was like, oh, it's over, blah, 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 blah. Well, then we went up $1,000. So that's basically that's crypto for you, right? What's up, Deep Pixels? Welcome back to streaming. Any alpha? I haven't revealed anything yet exactly. I did mention that there are multiple builds happening. Some things need to solidify a little bit more before we get into it. Only if you understand. Yeah, I think most of the people on this call understand. I don't know why you would be on this call if you don't care and understand. I'm buying here. Great opportunity. I mean, yeah, wait. I always say, pay attention to how the market is moving and wait for confirmations. I want to see ETH. I want to see ETH start to perform again, man. I want to see ETH at 3,500. ETH can easily pop to 3,500. I think it's just so depressed right now. I think this pump off of the lows really confirms that Ethereum is far from dead. Do you know which cores these other two new tokens are being built on? TitanX, Dragonx, and then two are one on TitanX, the mystery projects, one on TitanX, one I'm not going to tell you because it's too juicy, and then another one on Dragonx. And yeah, it's good. It's good. It should be good. Yeah, there's the fill out link if you want to hang out in the mastermind. Whereabout are I'm in Italy, man. I'm in Italy. Check it out. I'm in I'm in a room that's used for religious gatherings. So there's a bunch of iconography around me. It's pretty cool. High ceilings are a must, man. I think it would be really cool to have a house that had high ceilings like this. It's good for your mental state. I think it had to have open spaces when you're thinking. Should do a minimum 1 stream a month. I think that's doable. Thing is, routine, people get used to routine and they're less engaged on it. Let's see how many viewers we have now on YouTube. I think we might be picking up a little bit. Channel here. Yeah, 40 people. It's not too many people. 40 people on YouTube. And then on X, 362. Yeah, X is so good. I love Twitter. Will you be visiting Sicily? I haven't decided, man. Good question. Mango Dominant. Appreciate it, Erik. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Duke says, cheers. Dude, it's so obvious. Mike Dean house. What's up, Mike? Mike, you should share the stuff about how the adoption comes in when the price is up. I think people would like that. Share some TitanX Premium Alpha. Banning users because they are fudding the project. Wow, imagine. This is one interesting thing about having an audience. I have a pretty small niche audience, I'm not a big like superstar, and I still get like so many haters. It's so interesting. Like imagine being a dude and like just caring about another dude, being mad at him. It's so weird. Like, uh, it's money, you know, money gets involved. It's stressful, man. Highly speculative stuff. But I think it's important to temper emotions here. Do I hold any Hydra? Yeah. The only thing I ever sold Dragonx for, I think, is for Hydra for farming. If we're down now, I'll keep fighting. Yeah, man. It's so funny because like the entire altcoin market is down. Like it's interesting that people don't recognize that we don't operate in a bubble. We absolutely do not operate in a bubble. When Ethereum pumps, we effing pump, man. Like we really do pump like as you would want us to pump. Actually, look at how we pumped when Ethereum went up. Like we just pumped a lot. So, and then we go back down when Ethereum stagnates or goes down. Would mining ever come back to TitanX? I'm not sure. You don't really need it to come back. And you know, the longer that it doesn't come back, the more and more scarce TitanX gets on the other side. So keep that in mind. Like the longer you can suppress mining, the lower future supply there's going to be. What's up, blockchain? Oh, you made the Dragonx commercial? Nice, man. Can you send me some links? I can share them up. Yeah, man, I would like to jump on your podcast. Talking to a couple other YouTubers right now that are new YouTubers for us. So I've just been a bit busy. I wouldn't want to do a stream or coverage right now because this is gonna fall flat. It's gonna fall flat. Like the best thing I can do now is to build up my network so that when things turn around, we have all the resources we need. Hope that makes sense to you guys. That's why I brought this group to the fore. I thought, okay, the price is down. The most valuable information I can deliver is now. The most value I can push to people is now. And the most value those people can bring to Dragonx is now when the price is down. And those people understand that. And they're benefiting. And Dragonx will benefit from that. So hope that helps. Death Star was actually not a joke. It was just something that I decided. I decided that the perpetual auction mechanic was a bit tired. But, you know, there is another project launching that I think has a better take on it. So they took a lot from Death Star, and they're basically, because I know the team is launching it. So I was kind of helping them with that, and so that will incorporate a lot of the concepts of the Death Star, because I was looking at the Volt buy and burn, and when you had all of these people who were saying Dragonx is dead and Volt is the new thing, I was watching the buy and burn get depleted. And that's why I posted, you know, that awesome Troy meme. Like, that's why no one will remember your name. But the reality is that ran out, right? So if you could sustain the auctions, that would be a really good unlock for that system. So that was the idea behind Death Star, but some other people have picked it up. Please stop lying. You're in profit only if you bought the bottom. No, that's absolutely not true, dude. Look at the 1-to-1 ratio. People got in on mint and they still have profit. So also, it's not my job to deliver you profit, bro. It's my job to deliver fantastic products for you and to do my very best. Okay? My job is not to deliver you profit. I'm not your investment manager. I'm a builder. Okay? Don't tell me I'm lying either. I'm gonna ban you, actually. Douche. How do I ban this guy? Ban and delete their comments. There we go. That was nice. Yes, the people who are complaining, they sold at the wrong time. Or they put too much in and expected too much. So they effectively missed the point. They missed the point, right? Like risk reward on alts is huge, but if you over allocate and you have bad expectations, then you're going to get hurt. If people can come in and cheat out on a 3x. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people, most of the people I would say that are crying about the V1, they don't want to see TitanX really succeed. A lot of people, they join a project and they really want to just gloat about it failing. Like they want to get their little 10x off it, or they want to get their little like 100% off of it. And they sell and they just pivot to fudding so that they can be like, ha ha ha, look, I did it. I beat them. So yeah, I think the people that like are really crying and complaining, they either sold at a loss, had overinflated expectations, probably due to 2021 priors, or they were just in for the quick flip and it didn't work out, and now they want the builders to save them. But it's not, no one can save you. We're all working together to make it a success. Like I'm just building it, I'm promoting it, and I'm working to make it the best product I can. That's my position, you know. It's not my position for you to come in with $1,000 and 3 or 4 months later to exit with $100,000. Like it's not, that's nothing that I can, even if I had, I would have to have enormous sums of money to hand it out to people via a token, like, because then it's just a pure wealth transfer, right? Like I think this is the problem that the pulse chain stuff is in. It's kind of like there are so many people who are just waiting for the wealth transfer so they can leave. And Richard's very smart about that, which is why he hasn't used the funds yet. Wow, we just tore through comments. I can't believe an hour has gone by. That's nuts. What else do I want to talk about here? Oh yeah, guys, let me actually post this. So I was visiting Gecko One, and these guys, I was advising them to give a massive affiliate commission to bring people in. So if you guys want to do affiliate on it, it's a 90% commission. So I got them to push it up to 90% affiliate commission on Gecko One. They're really good guys. I think they want the best for the exchange and they want the best for Dragonx. So if you want to give it a shot, you can go and you can get an affiliate link for it. Like it's on you. Just go to gecko.one. They have a 90% affiliate commission. They're going to be adding a lot of meme coins. If you have friends that aren't into TitanX or they're not into DeFi, but they like degen, you can send them an affiliate link. You're going to get 90% commission on their trades. What about a crypto wallet app on mobile with some added value that would burn TitanX? Mobile is very competitive, you know? It's there's just not a lot of property, like there's not a lot of land on someone's phone for a mobile app. So because of that, it's really difficult to launch a mobile app, and then you would need to have basically an entire go-to-market strategy just for mobile for what? For an app that already does what dozens of other apps do. You need to have some kind of competitive advantage. I would say that our competitive advantage is largely in DeFi or in doing stuff that's a little bit more, you know, like a specialized partnership, like with Gecko One. I think we have we can add more value than just software app, you know, a software app that's like so many other software apps, and yet it just connects to Dragonx. That's tough. That's going to be tough. A tough sell. How are we doing on views here? 200 views. How much volume is needed? I mean, you need to look at the other tokens. Like, are you in the top, you know, Titan Farms? If you, you know, if you're in, oops. If you're in the top 6 or 7 tokens, maybe top 10 tokens, I think that's probably enough, right? Like there's only so much real estate on the app and you're competing. I mean, you need to get up to a level of volume where it makes sense to hand you some rewards, you know? Thoughts on Tink? Tink is a proxy for volume. So the more volume you can push through TitanX, the more successful projects, the better Tink is going to do. So it will always be mostly a proxy for volume. It has some utility with Ascendant, or Ascendant brings some burning to it. What you can do with Tink is you can actually direct buy and burn funds. You can direct Tink to a burn contract. It's just a bit labor intensive to do it. So like when things turn around, it would be the time to do it. But you could actually reduce the inflation by directing Tink to another contract, to a pair that was basically inaccessible. So that is something we could do later, but it would need to depend on things turning around a little bit. I think the first step would be Taurus and having a couple other build on TitanX projects launched that have good volume, and then you kind of have Titan farms turning around, and you can go from there. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can hang out for another like 30 minutes or something if you guys have questions. The big three things are basically the current position that we're in and why you should be grateful for it and why it's not over. The stuff that's coming for Dragonx and why Dragonx is still a very solid project. The mastermind that I'm doing to build a network around me to help Dragonx succeed. Gecko One affiliate program. Those are the big three. So that's kind of what I wanted to communicate in this stream. Oryx is fantastic for Dragonx. We've locked like 10% of the supply in there. So it's really good. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else, guys? Insane locked value, I know. And I hope people will continue to use that. I think also people should be using the NFTs. As things pump, it becomes a good way to trade your positions. It's going to be very interesting to see as people come back how the NFTs are used. I hope we'll see some good usage. Yeah, of course, man. I'm glad you joined. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. What projects do you like on Pulse Chain? I'm mostly focused on Dragonx and TitanX stuff. There's some good ones. What else can I tell you guys? Yeah, at this point, we don't have much of a choice but to be patient, to keep building, and then we have buy and burns, we have DAO, we have projects, and getting that stuff launched at the right time, people will come back. It's going to be telling. Pay attention to the people that left or fudded or tried to extract when they try to come back and reload on the ecosystem, because you're going to have people who they want to reload, they're going to launch low effort shitters, they're going to launch TitanX branded stuff just to get you to throw your TitanX in so they can rug the LP or do LP stuff to take your money out. These people don't care. They're super cynical. Like who would want to be one of these people? That's one thing that I find so interesting is like, what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be the kind of person that sits behind your computer all alone and snickers at other people that you took a few $1,000s? Like, he, I got those guys. That's so fucking lame. Like, if I would never want to be that kind of person. Like, I never wanted to be a trader. I never wanted to be in the trenches. Like I think that's boring. I think it's low productivity. And honestly, like it's not a skill. Moving some LP around is not that hard. Like it's not hard. Um, and you have these groups of people who focus so much on extracting from others and using their very basic knowledge of LP against their own people. Imagine if you had a group. Just imagine you had a group of people who were dedicated to doing LP, and it was a few hundred people, like 500 or 600 people. And these people, they launched low effort tokens, and within the group, they're all trying to fucking scam each other because they launched the token, and only the people inside the group really know about the token. And so it's basically like a bunch of people sitting around thinking they can outsmart the others around them. How lame is that? I can't think of a lamer way to live or exist. And ultimately, don't you want to be proud? Like, pride is one of the best feelings, like when it's actually earned, you know? Like, there are certain things, like as a guy, you should feel proud and you should feel like you're acting in an honorable way. Like, honor and pride are things that are fundamental to someone's feeling of self-worth. And I don't mean pride like negative, like negative ego. I mean like I'm proud I didn't just fuck over some person. I'm proud that I gave my best shot on my token. Like the cynicism, these people are going to look back on this and they're going to feel bad about themselves. You know, like I don't understand why you do it. I mean, no one's perfect. You know, like we're all human, right? We're infallible. We're fallible. So like people make mistakes, right? But you should try to organize your life in a way that makes you feel proud of your decisions. And you should not optimize for the short term, and you should not optimize for short-term gain. Because honestly, the cynical people don't win in the end. I really believe that. I believe that cynicism, it feels good during the time. It feels like you're somehow beating other people. But honestly, it's being clever at the expense of being right in many cases, where if you had enough people who are not cynical, you would actually have a different outcome. That's kind of like the game theory part of that is like, if you have 10 people in a room and they're all looking next to each other to see how they can fuck the person over next to them, okay? And you put that team against a team of people who are all actually driven and actually want like group success. The team of people who are all group oriented and successful, they're going to win. They're going to beat the cynics. So in a competitive environment, a cynical team will lose against a non-cynical team. Truly. I'm sure there might be some exceptions in some industries, but I've worked in companies where the people were just there for the money. Man, that is not a company you want to work for. That is not a company you want to work for. And I never drank corporate Kool-Aid about like, oh, give your entire life to a company. But I also understand that like having some vision and having some communication of that vision to people, it's a unifying factor, and it's a factor that makes people feel proud. And ultimately, if you're a dude, like honor is an important feeling to feel, because in the good old days, like we were in a tribal society, and you had, you know, you all benefited so much more from these masculine traits wouldn't exist if they weren't evolutionarily superior, right? Like there's a reason why crazy people and psychos and all of these people, there's a reason why there's not a lot of people like that in the gene pool. It's because those are fundamentally traits that were continuously edited out and suppressed over time. And there's a reason why the football team is like the team of men getting together and doing something is like a fundamental part of human society. It's like a team of guys, right? It's not the fundamental unit of societal structure is not a bunch of worms running around society trying to grab the thing that's nearest to them to benefit themselves. It's the football team. It's the soccer team, you know? It's the squad. It's a squad of soldiers. It's a group of men who can trust each other, have each other's backs, and are trying to win as a team. And that is fundamentally what keeps society together. So these guys who they're only looking out for themselves and they're literally in a fucking group, just there only to extract from their fellow man with no value add. Those are the people who would have been edited out, 100,000 years ago. Like they would have been edited out. It's just reality, right? Because who the hell wants to be around those kind of people, Like, so anyway, so just be careful for groups like that. Like, don't be involved in groups like that. When it's perfectly beneficial for those people, they're going to go, and they're not going to be there for you. You're ultimately responsible for yourself, right? So try to surround yourself with people who have at least a decent sense of character. Like, nobody's perfect. People make mistakes, and it is up to you. But just keep those keep people of good character around you. I can't think of a worse mistake than having people who are unaligned or have bad character around you. So many things that I've been part of. There's been some weak link that just made it terrible. It made the experience terrible, and it didn't need to be there. I remember when I was a software engineer, there was this guy back in one of my jobs, and he was just impossible to work with. And the only reason he was retained is because he was super smart. And there were so many good engineers that quit because this guy he was a key man. There was a key man problem in the company where this one guy was keeping hold on it. And it took so long, but finally the CTO extracted him from the organization. And it was like a massive weight was lifted off the organization to have this person leave. Even though at the time that person felt so precious, but when they were gone, it was so much better. And then you realize like most of what this person did was focus on things that were not actually critical to success, but rather the final 10% of super high IQ stuff to take something that was sufficient to something extraordinary in a way that didn't matter materially to the business, if that makes sense. So like you can think about a code base. It's like, okay, you have 8 and 9 engineers who write solid, straight code with good test coverage, nothing fancy. Great. Okay, then you have this one guy who can do all this crazy shit. And it's very fancy code. And whenever someone goes into it, it's like, oh, this person's, he has this kingdom around him where he solves some difficult problems and in a very eccentric way. And now anyone who approaches that, it just gets cut out by him and he becomes like a bottleneck for the company. When really, if you just had 8 out of 10 engineers sit down and think, how can we write this so the next 100 engineers could read it? They could do it. They really could. And that's the power of teams, right? That's the power of teams. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are resonating with this because you're all professionals here. But just keep that in mind because, there is no like you can gain the knowledge yourself. You don't need to have some guru guy tell you how to do LP or it's really not that hard. This shit isn't that hard, especially doing LP. It's like, you just need to watch a couple YouTube videos, experiment a little bit, put in the time, and yeah, I'll figure it out. What else we got here? Money is a poor energy substitute. Money is a tool, not the fuel. Amen, dude. I really believe that. I really, really believe that, man. It obviously is important, right? We need to earn money. And it's better to make a lot of money. But I think how you make that money really says a lot about you. Are you making that money by stepping on other people, by crushing other people? And it's tough in a crypto coin because, when one person sells, that's another person's potential wealth, right? So crypto is freaking brutal like that. But I think that's why you try to build utility into a product that benefits different actors, right? You have NFTs in Dragonx. You have NFTs as a way to exit. You have Ouroboros as a way to exit. You have farms as a way to earn some income if you can handle the insane volatility that is. So you have some other ways of people getting money other than just screwing over their fellow man, right? Ultimately, crypto is very, very mono a mono here. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's why you build more utility. And I really like real world asset projects because of this. Because when you have real backing behind something, it no longer becomes about being the first person to sell. It becomes more about the fundamental decision of whether the project underlying assets and stuff are good. I think that's why I like RWA. And I think that's why you see billion-dollar tokens. I think a lot of billion-dollar tokens are going to be RWA. Yeah, I think RWA is very good. Good evening. Yeah, make money by helping people. And I know it is crypto is to some extent a brutal PvP game, right? That is part of the reality of crypto that we have to deal with. But we try to build as much utility around it as humanly possible. So why don't you link real world assets to Dragonx vision? I've looked into this pretty extensively. Nothing conclusive yet, but I've actually looked into this extremely extensively because I think that it is very valuable. It is a good way of creating a strong narrative and case around your token. It's just there's a lot of regulatory elements to it, and startup costs are very expensive. And then you need to, I think honestly, like during the bull market, with the resources that we could obtain, you could do some pretty great stuff in RWA, but you need to have the assets underneath that are actually quality. So I'm trying to do some of that for my mastermind as well. I want to have a little fund underneath where we go after some stuff like that. RWA projects, I have a bunch. There's a bunch that I like. Different market caps. Some of them are already pretty overbought though at this point. What else, guys? Cryptocycles, you have a fan in the room. Yeah, it'd be good. Stylist, if you're streaming, we could stream sometime if you want. I know you're very focused on Hex and stuff, so no worries either way. Cool, guys. I hope this was a good check-in. Like, yeah, things are totally foobar right now, but try to count your blessings and realize that, like, you have founders who are still working on this stuff. It's not perfect, but we're definitely here. I'm gonna put the link. I hope you guys will join this. I want to cap it out and just be done talking about it, to be honest with you, so I can just focus on providing value into the group. But I think it is a valuable group, and if you're on this stream, you should probably give it a shot. We can talk about it more. So click that link, and I'll tell you more about it on a call. Yeah, it would be cool if I could just fill this thing so that we can get back to all the fun stuff we're doing inside, and I don't have to constantly be sharing it, because I honestly want it to be a pretty exclusive group, and I would rather just fill it and start doing awesome stuff. There's already been some great stuff inside, but more to come for sure. And yeah, cool. Okay, guys. Hey, it was good talking to you guys. Enjoy your time. Enjoy the summer weather as it comes, and try to be optimistic. If you don't have something good to say, I would say at this point, don't say anything at all, especially if it's about the V1 or whatever. Because, like, Jake is super quiet. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. So we just have to deal with it now. And I think we should focus on Taurus right now. Actually, let me put the Taurus Telegram in here, and we can get a few people in. It's growing each day, 734 people. But I think he's going to launch it when we get to when we get to 1,000. So that should be good. I think it's a good proxy for basically for the engagement. Like the engagement will be coming back. He's got 1,000 people. I think that's really good to launch off of. Hey man, nice to see you. Trust TitanX plan. $548 views. I don't know who's watching now. I wish I had live views on X. I don't think they show you the number of actually live views at any one time, but only the number of people that have who have actually viewed it. So that just means it's in their feed. But I hope this was helpful. Guys, I'm gonna put the one-on-one link. So schedule a call with me. We can talk about it. I can explain to you the point of this network and what we're doing inside. And yeah, for the rest of you, hang in there, and I will see you soon. See you later.